Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off by the Game Day. Today we have, a former baby goat enthusiast or current Lamar Jackson enthusiast, Jack Settleman on the show. Welcome. We still don't have Adam, so we got someone better to replace him.
Yeah, I'm back though.
But Jack is back. Jack Perotti is back.
Jack is back.
Yeah, this can be confusing.
This is the
Two
Jack
Jacks.
episode. Yeah, you're Perotti, you're Settleman for today. All right, so you're gonna have to deal with it. So welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, still a Lamar Jackson enthusiast. We did temporarily retire the baby goat nickname, just given that Pat Mahomes, at age 26, got his second ring, so he's earned that title. So
That's super
if
fair.
Lamar gets one, though, we'll be back.
Lamar gets one in Baltimore.
Might get two.
I mean, are you following
three.
Lamar if he goes somewhere else?
Yeah.
Really? You're not going to be a Raven fan?
I'll probably still be a Raven fan depending on what they do. I mean, the Ravens posted this morning on their Instagram, 27 years. They started in March of 96. I was born in July of 26. I've been a Ravens fan my entire life.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Lamar Jackson, it's just the new age. You love these players more than you love the teams. If we go through a 6-year rebuild, I don't live in Baltimore anymore. My parents aren't there. I don't go home to Baltimore. What more ties do I have?
So you're going to
there?
become a Giants fan now? Is that what you're telling me now that you
I
live
don't
in
think
New
he's
York?
going to be a Giants guy. He should be a Jet if the Jets were smart.
If the Jets were smart, they would just
Stop
fuck
waiting and
Rodgers.
just go get the confirm the guy that you know is going to perform.
But yeah, so how did you feel the other day when Lamar Jackson tweeted all that?
Well, it was funny because I got engaged on March 2nd,
Hey,
and he
mazel tov.
requested a trade on March 2nd. So as I'm on one knee, Lamar's trying to walk out the
One
door.
step
on a knee, you get a
One step
notification,
forward,
like,
two steps
fuck,
back.
all right.
One step forward,
Yeah, I
two
need someone
steps
new in my life, I guess. But yeah, I think my general sense was he doesn't want to be in Baltimore anymore. And it's obviously partially because of the money, but I've talked about the fact that they kept Greg Roman, a few too many years. They traded his best friend, Hollywood Brown. Now, I understand these were business decisions and to get rid of Hollywood made sense, but in the 3 weeks since he requested a trade, the only thing they've done is sign Nelson Aguilar.
Aguilar,
what are you
baby.
showing to your quarterback?
They're saying that the Ravens don't really care about Lamar Jackson.
That-
they don't really
feeling.
want to help him.
The one thing I know about Nelson Aguilar is that I have a higher win
Probability?
I can't talk.
Probability?
It's been like a week and a half.
That was scared for a week and a half.
Can't speak
man.
anymore.
All right, I got it. I have
Probability. You sound it out. Probability.
I have a higher win probability added than Nelson Aguilar. That's enough.
Yep, I agree.
That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the Ravens didn't want to help him, but where your Ravens bias aside, where do you think Lamar Jackson would end up being really successful? Do you think it's the Jets?
So there's 3 realistic landing spots. I think Washington, I think
I'd like to see
Indianapolis, and I still do think Atlanta. Although all 3 have said they aren't interested in Lamar Jackson. The 3 spots that I've kind of picked for him, I would love him in Miami, I would love him in Detroit, and I would love him in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
The realistic
Minnesota would be
spots.
sick. Oh my
yeah,
God.
him and Jefferson
Oh
would
my
just be
God. That would
on
be
that
so
turf.
elite.
So yeah, I have those fun spots picked out for him if he doesn't stay in Baltimore. But there are maybe more realistic
San
spots.
Francisco would be a fun spot.
Wow.
Yeah, it would. I mean, in a
very
dream
fun.
world,
Yeah, but there's
Kansas City would be great. I would love to see the best play caller of all time, mess around with Lamar. But I don't
better than
think
Mahomes? I mean,
they're giving up with Mahomes.
That's not happening. What about New England?
New England is not a favorite spot. It is a spot that I think they should investigate. There's 5-6 teams that should not at least make a phone call to the Ravens and just have a conversation. In today's day and age,
I think there's
phone
gotta
calls
be-
are free. So
True.
There's
make
got
a
to be
call.
20 plus teams at least got to hit him up and see.
Yeah.
Where would you want to see him?
I mean, I'd love to see him on the 49ers. That'd be fucking sick, but that's not going to happen. So I'll say, I'd love to see him with the Jets. I still think with Rodgers, you have nothing set in stone with that guy. He's way younger. Lamar is way younger than Aaron Rodgers to start
You're
with.
setting your future.
I know it's injury problems history, but I'm dude, he's 27?
Six,
26. You have him for another 10 years of his career.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why they
It's
wouldn't
crazy.
do that.
Yeah.
I think he's
Felipe?
better than Aaron Rodgers right now.
I mean, I don't know about right now.
It's close, but I think the certainty you would rather have Lamar than Rodgers. I've already said it. I want to see him with New England. I think him and Belichick would be Belichick and Brady 2.0. Let me rephrase that. Belichick and Lamar Jackson would be Belichick and Brady 2.0.
Maybe Belichick and Matt Castle 2.0 probably. Like, huh? Matt Castle.
You compare Lamar Jackson to Matt Castle? I'm so confused at what you just did.
I'm just saying. I just don't think Belichick really has it anymore. Like, I don't think there's gonna be much.
He's saying it's not gonna be as good as Belichick and Brady.
Well, Lamar Jackson's a lot better than Matt Castle, so that was very disrespectful. I was trying to compute it correctly.
Saying, I don't think there's a world where it happens, but what about in Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we talked about this. I think, like you said, most teams should at least inquire. The problem is if you're a team like Dallas and you have an offensive scheme that's predicated, like Lamar's going to change the flow of your offense.
Yeah.
And do you want to invest time into that? I think Dallas is so close right now.
To what? To what?
To contending for a Super Bowl. As close as they can get, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we haven't seen them get past the divisional round. Yeah. This is as close as they can get to possibly getting there. At least get into the NFC Championship game. You add Brandon Cooks, you add Stephon Gilmore, and like, you're adding actual pieces that they haven't done in off seasons before. So I feel like it would be a big risk to bring in a guy like Lamar Jackson and have to change up the whole offense when you're close. You're really close. Probably would have beaten San Francisco if Pollard hadn't gotten hurt. So it's for Dallas, I think it's too big of a change. I wouldn't do it if I'm Dallas.
This isn't new, by the way. You're new here, but this is
I know the
Felipe's a Dallas homer till he dies.
I didn't realize after the Dak debacle in that playoff game that like Cowboys fans were still like that adamant that they're that close. Like with Dak, it just feels
I mean, if
like
you're in the divisional round, you're close, right? But realistically,
yes, you're close. But what's the ceiling with Dak? Like, Dak literally blew that game. He threw up all over himself. We talked that day, and we were like, "This is Dak's legacy," and he folded.
Right, he didn't play great, but again, the team that was around him wasn't. He had no receivers outside of CeeDee Lamb, so when he lost Tony Pollard, he had no other help. I think they're trying to address that, obviously, with Brandon Cooks. We're going to talk about it in a minute, mock draft, but the guy that Anthony Servino, the Game Day's writer, has going to Dallas is going to help out that offense as well. So, I mean, Lamar would change everything. Look, I'm not saying don't sacrifice good to be great. I think that's what the Patriots should do. The Patriots are a borderline playoff team. I think they should sacrifice to go big and try to be a Super Bowl team with Lamar.
Get rid of a Mac Jones who is good but not great, and Lamar is great.
Dallas is like, you have a window right now, and you have to go hit it. Whereas like the Patriots are not, like, they're not competing for shit right now, right? They're competing for an AFC East title possibly. Yeah. But they're not doing much other than that. So I think some teams have to make that change and others should probably be a little bit more cautious.
I have like a hypothetical question for you though. Like what do you have to see from Dak Prescott to finally move on from him? Like what does he have to do for Cowboys fans to finally be like, all right, he's not the guy? Because he looked like ass last year, and he choked in the playoffs. And you guys are
I'm a Dallas hater, and I think it's like he needs to be not on the Cowboys for you to not support him.
That's not true.
That's what I feel like.
I just feel like as a fan, like obviously Daniel Jones. I'm a huge Giants fan. I'm super supportive of the Giants signing Daniel Jones because he's my guy, and I last year wanted him to be successful so that we would then pay the guy. Other people are like, that was the stupidest contract ever because he's not actually that good. But like, I'm obviously behind it. I'm going to support my dude.
I disagree, though. I think, well, some fans maybe you get wrapped up into this is
Tony
your
Romo
guy
forever, and he only won a couple playoff games. Yeah, so it's like I feel like you're going to settle for the same shit with Dak. You're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like
the Cowboys never put a good team around Tony Romo until he was at the very end and got hurt and couldn't play anymore. Right, that 2014 year, Des caught it year. They
would have won the Super Bowl.
They would have won the Super Bowl. now with Dak, I actually wasn't a Dak fan for the first couple years until he turned the corner. I thought the offense ran through Zeke, which it did. And then he turned the corner and became one of the most prolific passers in the league. And he's still that, right? He led the league in interceptions for the first time. If you look at all time, he's actually top 10 in lowest interception rate in history. So that's not a chronic problem with Dak. You take the interceptions away, which is what Dak says, a pick boy. When you look at last year's season, the Cowboys were 31st in wide receiver separation, and they were 30th in pass pro. So the offense was terrible. What I'm saying is you build around him rather than get a brand new quarterback and your receivers are still terrible. Your line is still terrible. No, fix the line, fix the receivers. Now let's see what Dak. If Dak shits the bed for the next 2 years, I think of like at that point you probably only have
2 years,
a
not
couple,
just like one more year.
2 more. Give him 2 more.
Yeah,
How old
sure.
is Dak?
Because you said the window is closing, right? So you're down to settle for 2 more years of him playing like that
Well,
if he does?
I think Dak.
Well, he goes with the window. I think that's what Cowboys fans have accepted. Is like you don't want to risk anything outside of it. You just go with Dak.
Or you get Lamar.
I don't think you've seen Dak, like, with all the variables that have changed in the past few years. It's been too much to say, like, all right, Dak is the reason we're failing. I don't think Dak is the reason. If anything, Dak is the reason we're staying alive, right? Like, the past few, like, Dak gets hurt. What was it, 2 years ago when he breaks his leg and we fucking suck? We won 4 games.
Cooper Rush, though.
Cooper Rush this past year. We finally had a good defense. So we're finally putting pieces around. I think that's why it's like, all right, we're getting closer and getting closer and getting closer. In the past, Dak gets hurt. We won 4 games. This past year, we actually won games without Dak. Now put pieces around them, and I think you can compete. I'll say 2 years, but it's hard to say because you don't know what's going to happen. But I'll say 2 years, and if not, if they don't win in the next 2 years, Dak's only got like a year or 2 left in his contract, then you probably have to move on. But he's a starter for the next 7 or 8 years, I think, in the league. If he's not playing for Dallas, he's going to be a starter for longer.
Y'all are never going to rebuild, too, as long as Jerry's there, too. It's going to be a reload.
I've always said we're not going to win the Super Bowl until Jerry dies. But
I love
you, Jerry.
I love
hopefully
the getting Felipe to say blasphemous things about the Cowboys conversation, but let's bring it back around to Lamar for a second. I do have a list of teams. We were talking about, like, which of these teams, basically, do you think Lamar could make a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, I love this conversation.
So if he goes there, yes or no, does he make them a Super Bowl team? Okay, so you'll say yes. If he does, you'll say no. All right, I'll just go through this list of teams. The Jets.
Yes.
What's the timeline? Next season?
Immediate Super Bowl contender.
Next season.
Yeah, this year.
All right.
This upcoming year.
Jets, yeah.
Yes. Patriots.
No.
Yes. They're the best team in the AFC East automatically.
Are they?
No.
With Lamar.
I don't think the Patriots are very good.
They don't have many weapons.
People forget, and I was talking about it the other day, but them and the Dolphins had the same record.
I know, yeah.
Now, I know the Dolphins had some quarterback struggles, but at the end of the day, they still have Tua.
Even if the Jets get Rodgers?
If the Jets get Rodgers, I'll give it to the Jets. But I think the Patriots are going to be
Bills are still better.
I'll say
yes.
Super Bowl contenders. They wouldn't be like, prohibitive favorites where the Jets would really jump up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Panthers.
Yes.
No.
Why yes?
Dude, the Panthers, we talked about it. The Panthers are complete as, like, when I say complete,
yes,
they don't have flashy. What? They don't have flashy names. They lost McCaffrey, they lost DJ Moore, but they filled those holes. They have filled those holes with guys who can play. We just talked about the receiving core on Monday, I think. DJ Chark and Adam Thielen. Like, it's a good receiver room. It's not a bad.
Those are 2 guys that were good like 2 years ago.
All right,
3 years ago.
I'll say this. Honestly, you give any NFC team, and they're probably contenders. He's going to be the second best quarterback in the NFC, like without getting into any Hurts debates.
Yeah.
And outside of San Francisco and Philly, like any team Lamar Jackson's on is probably the 3rd best team in the conference.
So Commanders.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's such a jump. It's hard to say that it's like
because
that one's tough because they'd be in the NFC East, right? So they'd be playing from behind in that division, but I think it's like if you put LeBron on the Knicks, it's like there's so much there's so much bad history with Washington in that franchise that you can't trust it. Like Carolina, at least they traded for the first pick. They brought in Josh McCown, brought in a good coach. Like Washington just continues to mess up. So I'll say no on that one.
Going back on, that's exactly the reason, though, I know we're talking about Washington, but going back to the Panthers, the division's wide open.
Yeah.
So if you make it, you win the division, you make the playoffs, and you have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, you can beat anybody.
He can play 6-0 against those teams and really get a higher seed.
Yeah.
So Washington, I also think they do a tougher division, but I think they get a wild card. They're automatically better than the Giants.
Curtis Samuel, Brian Robinson, they got a good
He'd
defense.
have weapons and they got a good defense. So yeah, why not?
I mean, look what they did with just Heineke last year.
Yeah. The Lions.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Falcons.
It's actually Lions isn't as big of a because their defense is
but they had a big offseason for the defense.
It's still hard to trust the defense, but that offense would be stupid.
Yeah.
The Falcons.
No. So they're the one of the few that I think
they're probably the worst roster of the group, but once again, they're in that division.
They've had a good offseason too. They've signed some good defensive
That's true.
players.
They did put in some money.
Jesse Bates, Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
Titans.
No. Dude, I don't get the Titans.
No.
I don't get the
Titans.
Titans.
Are
like,
weird.
They're so weird. They're hard to see.
Like, they've
seem
always
like-
been that way too.
They seem like they could be going for the #1 pick this year. Like they
Yeah.
strip the pieces. They'll
I
probably
agree.
trade Simmons at some point. Like if they don't get Lamar or a quarterback, Malik Willis, they'll like run him out there, see if he's any good, but leave him out there to
he's
die.
not that good.
Yeah.
The Broncos.
yes,
For sure.
Yeah. They
That's a
would
low
never
key
do
team.
it, but
But they should consider.
they should, but they got that Russ contract.
We were going through the teams that we were going to bring up before this show, and I'm going through like the obvious teams, the Atlantas and shit like that, and then I look at Denver, and I'm like, throw that one in there because.
Russ
Like
sucks
it's one of
this
those
year,
things.
bro.
Dude, for
Sacrifice
sure.
something to go be great, because they have a pretty good roster. I know they already said they're not going to get rid of their
I
receivers.
still believe in Russ a little bit though.
I'm all
Yes.
in on the Russ
With
return
Sean
this year.
Payton, I
Yeah,
think,
I'm all in
no,
on Denver.
Oh shit, I've
And
been
look,
on the
this
Russ
list-
train, but Lamar is way better than Russ.
This list is not to say like, oh, he's gonna go there. It's just like if, you know.
Yeah.
So,
No, they're
So,
Super Bowl.
I don't
Okay, so-
think he's way better than Russ. Like at their
do.
peaks, Russ is
You
right
say
now
Russ is
close.
ass all the time, so Lamar is
Well,
like
he had a
is
bad
barely
year
better than
last
ass.
year. He had a
I
bad
know.
year.
I think
I
Lamar's
agree.
really, really good, but I think I'm with some. Like I think
Yeah.
I'm all aboard the Russ comeback season. He's gonna be
Yeah.
fucking good this
Yeah.
year.
Oh, so it's gonna be
Sean
fucking. So
Payton.
are
last
the
year he
Broncos
was
Super
booty
Bowl
cheeks.
contenders right now with Russ?
I in the division, it's really tough
It is.
because they're almost slotted into not being first. But yeah, I think they're going to be the shocking team this year.
Are
I
they
don't
contenders
think
right
so.
now with Russ?
I don't think
with
so.
Lamar, are they contenders?
Yeah, he's better than Russ, but not by like a ton.
Yeah.
Like,
the 49ers.
oh my god.
Yeah, they-
that's the best team of all time.
I agree. I think it'd be the greatest team ever assembled, bro.
What,
17-0.
Lamar running back and McCaffrey a quarterback?
You honestly could do some shit like that, bro.
Yeah.
You're saying yes
that?
to?
Yeah, of
That would
course.
actually be the
The Niners
greatest
are
team
already
of all time on
contenders.
paper.
The what the 49ers were last year, if you add in Lamar Jackson, that is the 2019 Ravens, which went 14-2, Lamar unanimous MVP, with a better play caller and serious weapons. Like that
Shit.
that would be the best team in the league.
It's insane.
A couple more. The Saints.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I think they'd win the NFC South, and from there, I think they could compete with anybody.
I'd say yeah, because they got some dudes on defense. Like the only thing they're really missing is that quarterback.
Yeah. The Bucks.
Oh yeah, they
Sure,
compete.
yeah, they were with Brady. I mean, why not a younger?
I think the Bucks are
They
better than people think. Like the receiving core still there.
Yeah. They were just super banged up
Fournette's
last
still
year.
there?
Yeah.
Fournette's
No,
ass.
I think he's free agent.
Fournette's never.
Yeah,
Fournette's
I feel
not
like he
good.
might have been.
And
cut.
I don't know if Fournette swings whether or not
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
winning
yeah,
the Super Bowl.
Sorry.
Playoff Lenny,
Two
though.
more.
True.
Seahawks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
automatically.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say like Geno was pretty good last
was.
year.
He was,
and that
yeah.
team was pretty bad.
No, not
They
really. They
were-
were competing
they were-
for the
they were
playoffs.
average.
Like
they were a
like-
game away from the playoffs.
Right, but when
Did they
Geno
make
was good, they were
They
good.
got
When he was
smacked in the
bad,
first round.
they were garbage. So I don't know. Maybe not Seattle.
Oh, yeah,
Once
they
again,
did
they would
Seattle.
lose in the division probably.
Seattle should do it because Geno ain't the answer.
Yeah.
He's not going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you don't know
if
that.
he does, cool. But I just don't. See
Well,
that.
but even like if he plays as well as last year, he's still not as good as Jackson. So to
Yeah,
your
he's
point,
older.
like go from good to great,
yeah.
And
Yeah, I
last
think they
one, Miami Dolphins.
obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah.
They're competing. They're a Super Bowl contender with
With Tua.
Healthy Tua.
with the healthy
With
Tua.
the healthy Tua, they're a contender.
They're-
I think
You can say
Miami.
they're
It's so
somewhat of a
funny. Like
contender.
everyone's in love with the Jets, and then they bring in Rodgers, and now they're a contender. That's how I think about Miami. They have the roster where if you put in the star quarterback, and they hope that Tua is that guy. But yeah, if you could get Lamar, they'd be.
Tua could be, but he's not Lamar Jackson.
No,
Like,
he's
Boy, he's not
definitely-
close to Lamar Jackson.
Where? Yeah. What?
Well, I was just gonna say. So like, when I think of Seattle, I know we thought about that one for a bit. You think about Lamar and giving them weapons.
Yeah.
Like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker,
Shot. Oh yeah. No,
And-
Rashad Penny. He's not that good.
and I think did he leave? I think
He's
Penny
in
left.
He
Philly.
did,
Yeah. Good signing, honestly. But it's like part of me thinks, how good will Lamar be with these weapons? Like he finally would have weapons around him. Then another thing, I was talking to Jay Bobby off air yesterday, and he asked the question. He was like, "Do receivers just not want to play with Lamar Jackson?" Because that's part of it. Because obviously the Ravens the past couple of years have tried. Yeah. I mean, first off, they've addressed the position. They've drafted. Hasn't worked out.
Not well, but
to the extent. And then, but that means if they're willing to draft guys, they're willing to go out in free agency too. But it's that free agency is two ways, right? It's two-sided. So the receiver has to want to come there too. And they haven't been able to do it. And obviously Greg Roman offense that is very heavily predicated on the run and the tight end feast, and the receivers really don't. I feel like receivers didn't want to go to Baltimore because
they didn't. And not to cut you off, but it's for Greg Roman. It's as simple as that.
It's not Lamar.
It's not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson can get you the ball. Like Mark Andrews was the top tight end in football, outside of Travis Kelce the last few years. No offense.
It's true. Kittle hasn't been on the field.
Just by the numbers. Just by the numbers. Whatever. They're in that tier. So he can get Andrews the ball, so he can get other guys the ball. And he's had plenty of Hollywood went over 100 yards in multiple playoff games. So it's really the Greg Roman offense. And it's as simple as that.
When Greg Roman was with the Niners, too, with Kaepernick, no receivers ever went crazy. Like, Bolden was good. Crabtree was good. Vernon Davis was the dude, though. And that was that offense. Yeah. That's how it's
and it's the same thing at every step. He goes, puts in this awesome offense. The coaching staff around the league adjusts, and then it's the end of his time there. So, the Ravens coordinator, Todd Monken, would be incredible for Lamar Jackson. He was the Bucs coordinator with Jameis. He was Georgia's coordinator last year. He would be spectacular for Lamar. Bring in DeAndre Hopkins, Bateman, Andrews, that O-line. It would be really fun to see.
Diop looked good in a Ravens uniform, too.
I've seen the those jersey swaps.
It looks really good.
I do want to move away a little bit from Lamar, but we'll still talk about the Ravens, but we're kind of going to talk about all of our teams. The Game Days writer, Anthony Servino, released he put out a mock draft for this year's NFL draft. So I just want us to kind of go through it a little bit and react to some of the picks and the places that certain players are going to go. So I guess we'll start with the Ravens while we're talking about it. First of all, I don't know how much research on the draft you've done, but who do you think the Ravens should go after in the NFL draft this year?
I think that how can you say what you want to do until you know the Lamar situation? And if the Lamar situation is going to drag on until the season, it's going to put the Ravens in a really tricky spot. You don't draft a wide receiver if Lamar Jackson's not going to be there. You draft a quarterback. So especially we will see. Draft. Yeah, especially this draft. So we'll see. What do I think ends up happening? The Ravens are pretty keen on just drafting best available. And, having Rashad Bateman coming back from injury, I don't necessarily know if they need to draft someone in the first round because they're not amazing at drafting wide receivers historically, and they're amazing at drafting corners. Marcus Peters is on his way out. Linebackers, they really need pass rushers. So I haven't done enough research to say who the pick would be, but they're big trade out of the pick, get more picks, or just trade best available.
So the Game Days Anthony Servino at thegameday.com they have the 22nd overall pick, and I would assume this is written assuming Lamar Jackson is staying.
This was before Lamar requested a trade.
Or Pro Bowl Tyler Huntley. So they got two. They got two Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
They're fine. Let them walk, bro. Let them go.
Right. That's so crazy.
You're right. This is assuming you got one of those star quarterbacks. So they're trying to get him help. So they have Ravens picking Zay Flowers, wide receiver from Boston College.
Yeah, Zay's getting a lot of steam all across the league. He's a flyer. I think the fact that he kind of did it on a weaker Boston College team with a weaker passing game and was still just absolutely explosive. He's definitely rising. I could see him being the first wide receiver off the board now. So if the Ravens could get him at 22, they'd probably take him. But I don't know. It feels like the Ravens need to go the veteran route, which they've done in the past with Bolden, Steve Smith, Derek Mason. That's worked out well for them. But I would like the Zay Flowers pick. He's a good player.
Bolden was so fucking good on the Ravens. It pissed me off.
He fit the system.
He won them the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Let's talk about your team, Felipe.
Well, real quick on the Zay Flowers. So if Lamar is not there, right, and you said fuck receiver, we're not now. Receiver doesn't even matter anymore. We got to look at quarterback. Well, you're at the end of the first round, and probably the top 4 quarterbacks are gone. Yeah. Anthony Richardson, maybe 2 months ago we could have thought he would have fallen there, but not anymore. The hype is too big. He's gonna go probably in the top 15 unless he falls dramatically. A guy that I've been seeing, and actually one of the ESPN guys had him going earlier than I thought because he's coming off of, I think, is it ACL, Hendon Hooker?
He's older, but he's good.
He's really good, right? And what was he Heisman favorite before he got hurt?
He would have won the Heisman if he didn't get hurt. 100%.
What if y'all could get him at the end of the first round? Is that something?
So this is the funniest part about the Ravens narrative, because people are like, oh, if you trade Lamar, to whoever for the 4th pick, draft Anthony Richardson, and now Hendon Hooker fits the style. But it's like, the style was Greg Roman's offense. Those players don't fit what Todd Monken wants to do. So I don't think there's any reason to reach for Hendon Hooker to put him into a system that isn't really a system that matches his play style. Coming off the ACL, older, it's probably not something you'd want to do.
You want like a Bryce Young if you're going to get a quarterback, right?
Yeah, but you're not. You can't get that.
Super athletic.
No, I think that Anthony Richardson should be the first quarterback drafted, regardless.
Oh shit, he disagrees. We've been talking about that a bit.
He's fucking horrific.
He is. No, he is. If you watched him play last year in Florida, he's terrible. He can't hit the side of a barn. 51% completion percentage. But what are you trying to accomplish? And I think this is actually what gets interesting in the NFL is general managers, what's their biggest goal is to extend their career and to be the GM for a decade plus at a team because they get paid that good money. But the fans, what do they want? They want to win Super Bowls. That's all fans care about, right? Like the Ravens have been relevant for the last 15 years, but we only have one Super Bowl to show for. You take, a lot of people would take the Rams and then this disaster afterwards. And so which player gives you the most upside? It's Anthony Richardson because Josh Allen was terrible as an accurate quarterback, right? But put him in a system and then put the tools around him and develop him. And who, has the most, if you were to simulate 1,000 times, who has the most upside? It's Richardson.
Richardson's a freak, man.
You simulate 1,000 times, he's a superstar, probably 10 of them.
Exactly. But those 10, right? Like, it was the same thing with Mahomes. Why did Mahomes get drafted late? Because he had all those question marks. But the tools. He goes to the perfect system, too. Exactly. And gets developed.
Great coach, weapons, everything.
Exactly.
Learn under a nice guy like Alex Smith, Niner legend.
Alex Smith was a good quarterback to play. Yeah,
he was.
Niner legend.
But that's the example, right? The Alex Smiths of the league, they don't win Super Bowls.
Cousins.
And to me, I like Bryce Young. I like CJ Stroud. To me, they're in that Alex Smith range of, they're good, not superstars. Richardson could be a superstar.
I think Bryce could be a superstar, but I agree. CJ Stroud is your Jimmy G, your Alex Smith. Like, there's a reason the Niners trade all those picks to get Trey Lance because they're like, Jimmy G can get us there, but he won't get us that trophy. So it's like, I understand that.
You want the next Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Yeah, you do. All right, now let's shift to the Cowboys. Back to the Cowboys. Only talking Ravens. Only talking Ravens and Cowboys today. TheGameDay.com has the Cowboys picking Bijan Robinson, running back Bijan Robinson from Texas at the 26th pick overall. Felipe, what do you think about that pick?
So going back to what I said earlier, the Cowboys adding help on offense. You had Brandon Cooks. Now if you go get Bijan Robinson to replace Zeke, who you just released, then you have weapons all over the place. That was the problem with the Cowboys last year. I'm getting ready for what Settleman's about to say. I can see he's like loaded up right now. No, look, you have weapons everywhere. The Cowboys haven't had weapons like that can perform consistently in a while. And
2 years? When you guys said Amari?
We talked about Amari, but Amari was known for disappearing in the playoffs. So, we don't have to address that again. But again, you get proper weapons. You get Bijan on a rookie deal. Here's what I say. A running back in the first round isn't that smart nowadays. It's not that. Okay, he's going to hit one of those points. All right. It's not that smart nowadays. It doesn't compare to what the Cowboys did with Zeke, though, where they drafted him top 5. When you draft a guy top 5, you feel obligated, especially when he produces how he did in the first couple years. Feel obligated to give him that second contract. If you go get Bijan in the end of the first round, very different from getting him in the top 5, money's a lot less, then you have to be ready to let him go after that first contract. And that's how you don't fuck yourself over. The Cowboys didn't fuck themselves over necessarily. Yes, they could have had Jalen Ramsey. By drafting Zeke in the top 5, they fucked themselves over by giving him a $90 million contract and extending that shelf life, to which he didn't provide much value there. So I think the pick is great if they stay strict to that. If not, then yeah, you got to go address one of the needs out. You got to go get another receiver, even though they just addressed that with Brandon Cooks. They addressed CB with Stephon Gilmore, and that's why I say it's okay at running back to go draft a running back now. But I like it. I mean, he's a flashy player. Go from Texas to Dallas. It would be exciting for sure.
What you got, Settleman?
I'm a Texas guy, so I watched Bijan on the field. He was the closest thing to Reggie Bush in college football over the last decade, in my opinion.
Christian McCaffrey?
I guess similar.
Play style wise, I feel like McCaffrey a little bit more.
But I think Bijan was probably better. I don't know. Similar.
I could check you on that, but I'll just let you know.
So whatever. They're all in that upper.
They're all
He's a
right.
guest. Let's be nice.
Exactly. This is Adam.
There's no team in the NFL that's a running back away, right?
Facts.
And definitely, obviously, not the Dallas
Yeah.
Cowboys. You talk about all those holes. The pick could be used in so many better spots. Now, if he falls to 26, which GMs are learning, don't draft a running back in the first round, and late first, you could almost argue. And you said, you made a very good point that the problem with drafting Zeke, they shouldn't draft a running back top 5, but it was a different NFL back then, right? Today, it's a passing league. Bijan can catch passes. He can be used in more ways. But he went to Texas. If he played for the Cowboys, and he was good, right? You don't think that Dallas is giving him that contract?
They
did it.
will.
They did it. I know that Giants picked Saquon high, but the Cowboys, like being a Texas guy and then playing well for the Cowboys, you're telling me they're just going to be like, you know what? We're smart. We're going to let him walk.
You learn from your mistakes. You learn from your mistakes.
That's never going to happen.
No, but
so regardless,
I feel like the
You
Cowboys
guys be like, this time it's going to work.
Here's what I say: the Cowboys have the past few for the past like decade probably haven't done anything in the offseason. They've learned because what has been winning Super Bowls? The Rams making moves, the Eagles making moves. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but they made it there. And this year the Cowboys go out and sign Brandon Cooks and they sign Stephon Gilmore to give you flexibility in the draft now. So I think the Cowboys have learned in that sense. Maybe they can learn like, we got burnt with Zeke.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you already have Tony Pollard. So
but he's not an every down back.
But no, that's my point on Bijan, and this is my feeling. I love Bijan. I think he's super talented. My somewhat hot take, is I don't think he's going to be a great NFL player, because the NFL today, where Bijan thrives after watching him the last few years at Texas, is the fact that he got 20 touches a game. And because it's 3 yards, it's 4 yards, it's breaking tackles, and then it's right. It's he needs that volume. In the NFL, there's not a single running back anymore. Maybe Derrick Henry, maybe Chubb.
Yeah.
Who gets those 20 touches a game. So he's not going to be an every down back, especially if you have Tony Pollard. I just think never draft a running back in the first round. Now, if he fell to 26, that would probably be the most talented player that's fallen that far in a really long time. But it's at one of the least important positions. So that's why, I'm not for the Cowboys drafting Bijan. I would love him in that star uniform.
It would look good.
If they split Pollard and Bijan back there with Dak, they could do some fun things.
So we had PFF's Sam Munson come on, and he said that Bijan is the best running back prospect they've seen since Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
So he was just talking.
So now Felipe wants him.
No, I get it.
His comparison. Well, no, I wanted him before that. I mean, I watched Texas this year too. But what he actually said that also triggered Jack a little bit was that take Christian McCaffrey and make him more athletic, and you have Bijan Robinson.
My problem with Bijan is he doesn't have that breakaway speed. He doesn't have that breakaway speed.
Did he run the 40 at the combine?
I'm not sure if he ran it, but he gets caught from behind way more than you would think. Yeah. He's like more, to me, the comp is like Le'Veon Bell, like a slightly more athletic Le'Veon Bell, which once again,
Le'Veon was insane.
Yeah. And being able to use him as a pass catcher is such an advantage if a coordinator is smart. But then look at Le'Veon's second contract. So if we could shake hands and say, I swear to God, we will not re-sign him to a second contract, maybe I could get over it. But I know the Cowboys would pay that, man.
I want to move through these next few quickly because we're gonna head into our draft. Yeah,
man, let's go.
All right, we got a few quarterback picks. The game days, Anthony Savino has these quarterbacks going in these positions. They got the Panthers taking C.J. Stroud first overall, Colts at 4 taking Anthony Richardson, and then the Commanders at 16 taking Will Levis.
Why not?
So Levis falling because I feel like a lot of people have him top 10.
Yeah.
The Will Levis, Sam Howell quarterback battle is going to be something special.
Where's Bryce Young? Oh, did I add Bryce Young in
I
there?
assume he would
Bryce
be
Young
Houston at 2.
Is probably on the list
I'd
here
imagine he's
somewhere.
number 2, yeah.
Bryce Young's number 2 in Houston, yeah. So
And then CJ Stroud,
thoughts,
Panthers
comments,
on.
concerns, queries?
Does he have Henning Hooker going anywhere? I'm curious.
Oh,
And
let's
Hooker,
see.
he didn't have him in the first round. It was
Yeah.
just a one
Just
round
one
mock.
round?
No, it's just one round, yeah.
Let's see.
Come on, Anthony. We need all
Who did-
7 rounds.
Who do you have the Bears get?
Yeah, right.
when the Bears move
the
back.
Bears, Jalen Carter.
Oh, that's a fucking pick
Yeah.
if they can do
I love
that.
it.
Holy.
You think CJ Stroud's lock number 1, right?
He shouldn't be, but he is.
So I work with Underdog Fantasy. Obviously,
Yeah,
they had a podcast going with one of the guys at Underdog, and Josh McCown was like their co-host. So they actually have. You can go on YouTube and look at it. It's pretty crazy. Josh McCown breaking down every rookie quarterback prospect, like 2 weeks before he got signed to go be the Panthers quarterback coach,
shit.
and in the film. He's obsessed with CJ Stroud.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
that's where a lot of this steam has come from.
Makes sense.
Did you see?
But I reached out to my friend Josh, and I was like, I understand that Josh, I guess they were both named Josh, and
McCown.
like McCown loves Stroud, but does that matter? He was like, obviously Josh is going to have, he'll push Stroud, but he doesn't make that decision. It's head coach, it's GM, it's owner. So he's definitely not a lock. And Carolina has said like they don't know who their guy is going to be, which there's no reason to posture like you already got the first pick.
Exactly.
So I
you have
think
your time to
that
make
like
that
there
decision.
no, but like if you did know who you were taking, or there's no reason to like just if you're Houston, you could act like you really want Stroud, right? So that someone has to trade up for him. But they could pretty much come out and say who their guy is, and they haven't. So I don't think he's a lock, but I do think he's the rightful favorite.
It's funny you brought up McCown. There was that clip, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter the other day, but where I think it was CJ Stroud at like a pro day or something, or maybe it was the combine, where there was someone recording like right next to McCown talking to CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And he said something about like, yo, we got to run some hoops or something, like play ball together.
yeah.
And he was like, we'll find a spot to go when you're in Carolina.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
That could have been a visit when you're in Carolina, just like visiting.
That's not what he meant.
I think the Panthers should trade for Lamar Jackson and forget that first overall pick. But if you're going to stay at first overall, then I don't care. I don't know enough about these guys, and they do a lot more research than us. What I know is that the top 2 prospects are Stroud and Bryce Young. And then you have Anthony Richardson, who's a wild card, who, like we talked about, has the highest ceiling. So, I mean, but the top 2 guys are the first 2 guys I mentioned. If they get one or the other, I think they'll be fine. Like it's all about equipping them with pieces around
Exactly.
them, like teams have been able to do around quarterbacks who have developed. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, guys like that. If they can do that, then I think they'll be fun.
I think the difference between the two, in my opinion, is that CJ Stroud is the safer pick, where you can maybe win some games his rookie year with him. Bryce Young is a bit more of a wild card just because he's a little smaller, but he's
But
the
he's a
shit that he can do is
gamer.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. He's
He
a
has,
gamer.
He has Mahomes-like plays where
Yeah.
he gets out of the pocket, makes something crazy happen. Like,
Yeah.
I think his upside is unreal. I think it's just as big as Anthony Richardson's, honestly. But
The last name we have on this list is the Giants getting a wide receiver, Quentin Johnston.
that'd be a good pick.
Thank you.
I don't know if it
Not
would
my
be.
pick, thanks to Anthony
Him,
Servino.
Darren Waller.
I just want more wide receivers. That's all
Y'all
I
need
need.
it. It'd be like the Ravens addressing wide
Yeah,
receiver
we
with,
need it
with
so bad.
Rashad
that would
Bateman.
be quite the neat pick for you, man.
It would be. I mean, but
Mr. Man.
the
Thank
thing
you.
about the receiver class this
My
year
father.
is that there's nobody like pops out at you like this is a Jamar Chase. Obviously, you don't need a Jamar Chase. There's not many Jamar Chases come by, but
The Giants need wide receivers.
If anything, yes. But
They
if
do,
anything,
but Quentin, I don't know, is the guy that I would want there. Like he seems like he's
Like, you want
so
Jordan
raw.
Addison, or what?
Yeah,
He's very raw.
I'd rather have
That's the problem.
Addison.
I think
Like,
Jordan Addison
That's
is-
who
yeah.
Jones needs. He needs that safety blanket. And I think Waller will hopefully be that for him. But yeah, I would. It's the question of, do you pick to match with what you have, or do you pick best available or best upside, right? Like I think QJ probably
Best
might
upside
have
for sure.
a bigger
But it's gonna take a
upside.
little bit to probably
But
get-
but maybe like a Jalen Reagor. Like he just didn't get proper development in Philly because he did not match everything they were doing. And then now his development is stunted and it's ruined.
Another TCU guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is. You look at a receiver like Quentin Johnson. I would love to see him go to a great quarterback. Not saying Daniel Jones isn't great, but like
he's not.
You don't have
He's
to
not.
say he's
You can say he's not great.
Well, I'm not even saying he's not. I'm not even saying he's not like good.
might be
He's
him,
fine. He's a
but
fine.
he's not great.
Fine. He's not great. But what I mean is like I'm not gonna go out and say he's not a good quarterback. He's fine. But Quentin Johnson's raw, and so if you're a raw receiver like that, you need a quarterback who's going to make you better. Daniel Jones won't make him better, and he could just be one of those guys with insane upside
I'm not disagreeing.
that
I
just
hate it.
fizzles out. And like last thing I would want to see with a guy like Quentin Johnson is him fizzle out because comparisons have been made with like Calvin Johnson.
What Daniel Jones needs is a wide receiver that will make him better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Jordan Addison in my opinion. Or Jackson Smith and Jig, but those are the guys that
like JSN, right?
Yeah,
like a lower
JSN
ceiling,
is so
lower ceiling because he
good.
doesn't have like the explosive traits that drive you crazy.
Neither did Amon Ra, and
Neither
he's
did-
making Jared Goff look pretty damn
that's
good.
another USC
Great
guy.
route running.
Servino has JSN going 12 to the Texans, and also Jordan Addison going 21st to the Chargers.
Yeah, so I love that because I mean, you
that's
pair
like
Bryce
that.
Young,
Yeah,
you pair Bryce Young with Jason immediately. They can
Yeah.
develop together. I mean, I really like that. That guy, that's what we talk about with these quarterbacks too. I mean, like some guys lower ceilings, but you know what they're gonna get, what they're gonna do for you. So
All right. Well, if you want to see the full NFL mock draft list by Anthony Servino, go to thegameday.com and check it out. We're gonna draft some stuff.
Let's
we were
do
talking
it.
about Lamar Jackson, so today we're gonna be drafting all-time NFL rushing quarterbacks. We're gonna do 4 picks.
Based off just their rushing ability.
Yeah, you're just drafting their rushing ability. Like, so you're not gonna draft Tom Brady,
That's
right?
gonna be
Like,
fun.
obviously,
No. But all right, like
Great at QB sneaks. Though.
like there's
true.
certain quarterbacks who are elite runners and really bad passers.
That's fine.
And there's
That's
certain
fine.
quarterbacks who are good runners but good passers.
no,
forget passing; it doesn't
forget
exist.
Yeah,
passing.
we're just talking about the rushing ability.
Okay.
If all they could do
so
was
waist
run,
down.
Okay.
Waist down.
We're drafting quarterbacks from the waist down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
We're drafting quarterbacks bottom
Which part
half.
of their waist?
I'm drafting
are you
Brett
looking-
Favre
Just
immediately.
the part like 0 to 8 inches below.
All right, so we're gonna do our little draft ceremony. Welcome to the draft ceremony. You're gonna put your finger
Put
on
your
the thing.
finger on the screen. Someone want to tap it whenever we got them all.
We
on?
got 2 purples.
Oh, what's this,
uh-oh.
dude?
Yeah,
I thought you
well,
paid for. I thought you
yeah,
paid
yeah,
for
yeah.
the fucking
I did.
subscription.
It says too many players. You guys put a bunch of
Yeah,
players
Felipe. All
Oh, we
right.
did.
All right.
No, Felipe,
Wait.
you fucked it again.
No, you added your finger.
Everyone put
there's
their
only supposed
fingers
to be
on.
4, then
Yeah,
I
there
pick
we go.
one.
All right.
Oh, I thought
Felipe
I
put his
tapped anywhere.
second.
All right.
Look at this technology we have at the game
How I
day.
decided.
You know, I can
Yeah,
just
this
put a
is-
randomizer on Google.
This
bro.
is high
Like,
quality.
All
All
right,
right,
you
you get
gotta
to pick
pick.
your draft.
If you go
spot.
1 through 4,
All right.
1 through 4.
I'll go first pick.
All right.
All right.
Damn it.
fuck me.
We're gonna shuffle locations.
We know
also.
there's a clear 1-1 here, so
Well, all time.
No, I don't. I
Daniel
think,
Jones. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
yeah.
Don't give away my
Just for that
picks.
speed. Just for that speed.
Yeah, I'll take 2.
Oh, you don't have to move. Damn. All right, Matan.
Oh, you know what I want.
It's actually not a clear 1-1. I think that there's a clear 1 and 2.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take 3.
Yeah, I'll get the wraparound. All right, you two switch.
The wraparound
The
is
Jacks
always fun.
switch
Oh,
positions
all right.
because we're gonna just come around. It'll be easier. I love a wraparound, bro.
Nice.
Dude,
I
so
love
much
that
comfier than
chair.
that.
The
Yeah.
couch sucks.
Yeah, the couch does suck.
Not great.
All right, like I said, today we're drafting all-time rushing quarterbacks.
From the waist
Settleman
down.
has the first pick. So Settleman, you're on the clock. Go for it.
First pick, best rushing quarterback of all time, Lamar Jackson. Holds
Yep.
the records.
That's-
Doesn't get hit.
true.
Makes people miss. Has the highlights.
Baby goat.
The baby goat. The goat of rushing, though.
Goat of rushing. Felipe.
Lamar Jackson was always compared to somebody else, right? As far as
that's
rushing
your favorite
quarterbacks
player?
So, yeah, it's like my favorite player, probably top 2 favorite players ever. Other one's Ray Lewis, actually. Love Ray Lewis. I'm going to go Michael Vick.
Yep. That was the easy one, too. Mm-hmm. That was no doubt the one, too. I haven't thought about this worth a shit. So
Alex Smith could run.
What is the thing that they do in Congress?
What?
They kind of keep talking.
Stall,
yeah,
but there's a word.
There's a word for it. It's a good word. You want to help me think of the word?
No thanks.
You need someone to stall so you can think of the word for what the stalling is.
Yep, that's what it is. What is that word?
Kirk Cousins could run a bit.
Yeah, he could. I'll go.
Teddy Bridgewater.
I'll go Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I
That's a good
think
one.
he
could
rushed
run.
for like 200 some yards against the Packers that playoff game. I think he was like kind of the reason the NFL shifted towards more rushing quarterbacks, low key. Like,
All right, I'm gonna take Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that
good
actually
one.
was almost.
If you were gonna take Cam Newton, I was gonna take Cap.
Hey,
So
Re-two-pecked.
Hey, re-two-pecked. So I'll take Cam Newton.
Oh, I forget you get a wraparound. Fuck.
And then I get the wraparound, which is why I love the 4 spot. So it's here. I'm thinking, like, do I go modern guys who are good?
It's all time.
It is all time.
I think Mac Jones had like a 15-yard run this year.
Yeah.
Oh, he gritties too.
Yeah. When he's not passing balls, he's running. All right, and then I'll take RG3.
Oh,
See, that's so good.
that's good. It
That's a
wasn't in my
really
head for some
good
reason.
Newton and RG3, bro. Come
on.
Hell.
And they were back to
So I
back
love
years.
the
They were
rap.
drafted like
Yeah.
one was
So I
like
love
in
the rap.
2010, one was 11.
Oh yeah,
All
I
right,
forgot.
so I got to rack my brain a bit.
Rack it.
I got nothing going up there.
Vacation brain.
Yeah, dude. So many Coors banquets. Great beer. I'll go. Fuck.
Dude, it's hard.
Ever.
It's so hard.
It is hard. It really is.
Yeah.
I'll go with fuck. Why is he the only one that's coming to mind? I'll go with motherfucker Johnny Manziel. I don't know. He sucked ass, but he was a good runner.
He was a good
scrambler. He was a good scrambler.
Yeah, he wasn't a good runner though.
Someone put his rushing stats over
it was-
Jack's pick. It's gonna be like
Yeah, I know,
200
it's
career
fucked.
rushing yards.
I'm just thinking of that play he had in
When he
college
ran.
against Bama where he's
Yeah.
running all around. Fucking
Yeah, that was nice. I remember that.
fuck, I
He
just
gained
lost.
0 rushing yards on that play. Just a heads up.
Did he?
Yeah.
But
Well, it was a pass.
But he ran a lot. But he ran
a lot. He
He
scrambled.
rushed around.
We only have the bottom half,
know,
so
I
he
know,
can't
I
even
know.
throw the ball.
No, I know.
All right, Lipe. Johnny Manziel's off the board, so that's no longer an
That's
option.
know you
unfortunate.
wanted that
Texas
one.
guy. I'm gonna go with. I'm also having trouble recollecting some guys, but I'm gonna go with the current guy right now. Also has like I think 1 or 2 records. Really young, Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Damn, good one.
He's been explosive. I think you guys are forgetting Jalen Hurts, like led the league in rushing this year. So I'll go Jalen Hurts at the 2. What
I actually think Fields did in the end, didn't he?
for touchdowns.
Yeah, touchdowns. He had like 16,
Yeah,
14
he's like
or
the
something
sneak
like
Yeah,
that.
that's nuts.
And they ran him 18 times in the Super Bowl for 3 touchdowns. So it's a
Yeah.
pretty good rushing day.
Decent day, yeah.
Decent day at the office.
Hurts can run.
All right, I'll go with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why
Yeah.
the reason why I
It's a
go
good
current
one.
guys is because like you said with Kaepernick, that's where we started to see a lot more mobile quarterbacks. And Allen is thought as a passer first, but his rushing prop's
run.
like 45 yards a game. So
Yeah.
he'll hurdle, he'll run you over. He's gonna get hurt soon. But yeah, I'll take Josh.
I hope
Allen.
not.
Wow, you took Manziel over Josh Allen. Let that marinate.
Hey, Johnny Football, baby. Johnny Football. Damn, that was a Matan pick right there.
Yeah, fuck. No, my team's great.
You do have a good team. Now you're going to choke.
No, I have someone in mind. Go.
Take him.
No, you won't. He might.
I'm trying to think of somebody. Oh, you have someone in mind?
Yeah. Read my mind.
Who you have?
Yo, read my mind.
Daniel Jones.
Read my
Yeah, he
mind.
definitely has Daniel Jones in his
Read my
mind.
mind.
I'm gonna go Randall Cunningham.
Oh, he was one of
Yeah.
the first ever to
How'd you
kinda do
know?
that whole thing.
No, I mean, I know you had Daniel Jones.
All right.
I'll go Eli first though. Eli could run too.
Peyton Manning, maybe.
You were playing like Madden, like when you were a kid playing like Madden, like 06, and everyone loved playing with the Falcons because of Michael Vick, and then you go play with the Colts and Peyton Manning's
just
like
like-
25 speed, and like he could barely move when you're trying to run.
That shit was so funny. I'm gonna go with. Oh fuck! Is he a rusher or more of a scrambler? Fuck.
Go with him. No, he could run. I know who you're thinking about.
Kyler. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the people I had in mind.
Yeah, Kyler. Is that
It's
good?
It's a good
Texas.
Yeah, I thought you were thinking of someone else. I actually would have taken Kyler over Randall, but nice.
pick. I'm gonna take Russell Wilson. Good rusher.
He can run
I don't
when he
give a
runs.
fuck what y'all think. It's my pick. All right.
Actually, Russ.
I picked
Russ is
Johnny
a great
Manziel.
rusher. Russ is a great rusher.
Great's pushing it, but
was good.
Russ is
Russ is a very good rusher.
Yeah, Russ actually is one of the leading rushing yards per game quarterbacks in history, I think. So it plays in your favor. Good shit.
All right. Kyler was the guy I had in mind, by the way.
You got to do it.
I do, right?
You got to
Well,
do it.
there are better guys.
Nah, are there?
I don't know.
No, he's pretty good.
I have a better one.
All right,
No,
so do
But
the
I
better
want to take
one.
my guy. All right. Deshaun Watson.
Well,
Honestly, a straight line runner, Daniel Jones is better than Deshaun Watson.
yeah, I would say Jones is better than.
But not
as a
Deshaun. I'll
rushing
take Deshaun's athletic
quarterback,
ability over for
Deshaun's
sure.
athletic ability is
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
much
But
better.
Daniel Jones'
Yeah.
top speed, he ran too fast for his own body.
I know, but I know what the actual benefit of their rushing ability is, and I would rather have Deshaun Watson's than Daniel Jones.
You'd rather have a rapist than Daniel Jones. Okay, anyway.
On the field
back to-
talent. On the field talent. Strictly.
Ben's back there. He's like, Prody, shut the fuck up. All right. I'll go.
That's my 4.
That's your fourth pick. How many rounds are we doing? Just 4?
4. Or else we're gonna start drafting.
I
Peyton
want-
Manning.
No, we got to wrap anyway. So
I want Danny Wheels to get picked. I really do.
Go take him.
But
There's really not that many guys.
No, but I gotta go Steve Young.
Yeah, Steve Young, go.
Yeah, the pioneer of the West Coast offense. I like that.
yeah.
That's what my dad and my uncles always tell me.
I'm gonna go with
Shout out John
a
Pearl.
guy who was fucking nice as shit.
Was
And
he?
He was nice as shit,
Nice.
and then got converted to a receiver. But he was really good for a few years. I'm gonna go Terrell Pryor.
That was a good pick, dude.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Thinking outside the box.
Last pick.
No, that was good.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Last pick, Mr. Relevant. I'm going Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good one.
Mariota,
thought about it.
just play the clip. I think he had like an 80-yard run.
did with the
on
Titans?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Right up the gut. So Marcus Mariota.
Dude, him at Oregon was so
Yeah,
fun to watch.
so
Oh my
fire.
lord.
Even
All
his
right.
rookie year in Tennessee was nice.
Should we run through who our teams are? Who's
Yeah,
on your
if I
team?
can remember.
Lamar, Hurts, Allen, and Mariota.
Yeah, that might have won.
That's good.
God damn, that's nice. Yeah.
That's the best group of quarterbacks, but rushers.
I know, Johnny
Russell
Manziel.
Wilson.
The way it's gonna look on the
Johnny-
graphic, I'm fucked.
No, it's just the
gonna say-
bottom half.
No, but it's gonna say rushing quarterbacks, and Johnny
in the
Manziel was
graphic-
fucking terrible.
In the graphic, we should just show their legs.
Yeah.
Just this middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felipe, who's your team?
I had Michael Vick, Justin Fields,
Nice.
Randall Cunningham, and Terrell Pryor.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Start off high. We got Colin Kaepernick. Good pick.
That is a
Johnny
good pick.
Manziel. Bad pick.
Yikes.
Then I went to who did I go at? Then I went Kyler Murray.
That was
and
good.
Then Steve Young.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. I had
Johnny Manziel.
Cam Newton, RG3, Russell Wilson, and Deshaun Watson.
Your first two
started
are
off
phenomenal.
Sorry, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
All right, let us know who you thought won this draft.
Daniel should be on this list somewhere, man.
He should, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry
That's
I didn't
on you.
take him. Yeah,
I'd take
know.
a 49er.
I thought about taking Eli Manning because of that one scramble he made to throw to David Tyree. You know that one?
Good scramble.
Good
I love a
scramble.
nice
All right,
scramble.
well, Jack Settleman, thank you for coming on, man. This was a great
course.
time. I
So
hope
fun.
the Ravens figure out their shit, whether it be with Lamar or not.
Well, he's traveling with Lamar wherever he goes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so
yeah.
good luck to you on your
Hopefully
journeys.
Dallas, Bijan, Lamar. we're
Dude.
having a fucking
Oh
time.
my god! Oh my god!
Can I just point out before we go that the Cowboys fan is wearing Yankee stuff? Flip
We've
around
done
the
this
hat.
before.
Yo,
I don't
baseball
give a
season
fuck.
tomorrow.
I don't do baseball. First of all right?
Baseball season tomorrow.
So I can wear whatever the fuck I want to wear.
Yankees opening day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
so go Yankees.
Also, big Knicks game tonight. Let's go Knicks.
Huge.
Shout out the Knicks. Need to make that playoff push or that push to get the right whatever positioning and lock in the spot. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Settleman. Appreciate you all tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.
See ya. Bye.
Disagree with any of these takes? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and go to thegameday.com for the best sportsbook offers.